to this special edition of Chemistry Colleen. We are out here live in the Sonoran Desert and we have received some breaking news. Come with me, let's go. Hi friends, this is our interview. We have a hot tip. Let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Chemistry Colleen from K-Chem News. Can you introduce yourself? I need your full name and address.
My full name is Cactus, and I live in Sabino Canyon, Tucson, Arizona.
Can you spell that, please? I think I heard saguaro. Is that right? How do you spell saguaro?
S-A-G-U-A-R-O.
Okay. And you live in Sabino Canyon in Tucson, Arizona. Great. Well, I have some questions for you, Saguaro Cactus. I have it that you are housing elf owls and even bald eagles rent-free. Is that true? Are you housing these birds and several other species of birds rent-free?
Yes, it's true.
You are now. With today's economy, are you planning on raising that rent? Are you planning on charging these birds to live inside you?
No.
No? Wow, that's amazing. You mean several species of birds can live inside you rent-free? Wow, that's awesome. Okay, I have another question. I have heard that you are storing hundreds of gallons of water in your trunk. Is that true? How can that be true in this dry desert climate?
Yes, it's true.
It's true! There's hundreds of gallons of water inside here. Wait. Do you have a question for Saguaro Cactus? Because I do.
How does the saguaro store water?
Yes, that's the same question I have. How do you store all that water?
Well, I'm stretchy outside and sticky inside, and I'm basically bloated all the time.
Okay. So you're saying you've got this ribbed accordion-like shape with all of these nooks and crannies that can store water, and your insides are full of cellulose, which is carbohydrates that store water too. I'm digging that. There's some chemistry there. All right, Saguaro Cactus. Well, folks, you have it straight from the cactus's mouth. Okay, straight from the cactus. Rent-free, living right here, plenty of water. Birds, come on out. Wait, I'm getting another. Oh, we have someone else to interview, folks. Another hot tip. Meet me in a minute. Here we are at our next story, and this is a doozy. Hello, my name is Chemistry Colleen, and I'm with K-Chem News. I have heard some interesting facts about you, my friend. Now, I need your full name and address before we start.
I'm Prickly Pear Cactus, and I live in Sabino Canyon, Tucson, Arizona.
Well, hello, Prickly Pear Cactus. Also living in Sabino Canyon in Tucson, Arizona. That is awesome. Okay, Prickly Pear Cactus, this is what I have heard. I have heard that you provide food for free. Again, I can't get over this. This is all free for tons of desert critters like javelinas, jackrabbits, rodents, coyotes. Oh man, that is a lot. Wait, there's more? What are some of the more? What?
Prairie dogs, bats, and iguanas, too.
Those are some cool desert critters. Wait, what's your question?
How could they eat your pads?
I have the same question. Let's ask. How is it that all those animals eat your pads? I mean, ouch, right? Like, ow! That looks, well, it looks owie.
Their mouths have adapted to be able to eat the prickly, thorny pads.
Okay. All of those animals can adapt in the way that they eat, they have an adaptation mechanism that allows them to just chomp right in and not get hurt. Isn't that so cool? These desert critters, man, they've got a lot of things going on. Okay, wait, there's something else?
My pads, also called nopales, contain juice used for making cement.
Yeah, these pads are also called nopales, and the nopales pads contain juice. We also call it prickly pear cactus juice. And prickly pear cactus just told me that ancient settlers hundreds of years ago used to take the juice from the nopales pad, wring it out and get its water mixed with all kinds of other flavors and molecules, and mix it with limestone that's found all over this desert. There's tons of limestone to create a cement that can withstand very, very, very hot temperatures, over 120 degrees on some days, monsoon rains, extreme lightning, and that cement, because it's mixed with the nopales cactus juice, doesn't break. Whoa, now if you've ever walked on a sidewalk and seen cement cracks, you know what I'm talking about, right? Right? Cement cracks, but if you mix the juice from the prickly pear cactus with the cement, it makes it stronger.
How does the juice make cement stronger?
Oh, good question, good question. How does that work? Let's ask the prickly pear cactus. Prickly pear cactus, how is it that the nopales juice makes the cement stronger?
The juice contains cellulose.
Okay, again, inside that juice, there's some molecules that make the cement flexible and bendy, that can expand and contract, and it's called cellulose. Okay, like that cellulose in there. That's a little bit like fiber. That's super cool. Thank you so much, prickly pear cactus. You have given me a great idea for a science experiment, and I can't wait, and I'm sure you can't either. I've got the things right here. Let's go do that science experiment. Bonus side note, humans can eat these too. Yeah, if we take the pads and take off all the prickly stuff and clean them and peel them a little bit, they're called nopalitas, and they are delicious and full of all kinds of nutrients that are so good for us. I'm going to go to a local restaurant here in Tucson, Arizona, and order some so you can see what a delicious meal that makes. Hi friends, it's me, Chemistry Colleen. We're going to get ready to start our desert science experiment. But before we get started, I've got to put on my apron. All right, that's much better. Okay, now I look like Chemistry Colleen. I know I still have my hat on, but you always wear a hat in the desert because this sun is no joke. Okay, what's our science experiment for today? Let's go down and look. We're going to make cement. We're going to make some cement, but instead of regular water for our one batch, we're going to use the juice from the prickly pear cactus. And then we're going to compare them and see which one is more bendy and resistant to heat and just a stronger cement. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, let's go. Okay, cement is super easy to make. You just take any kind of mixing bowl, and this is just limestone that's ground up. Okay, so this is store-bought limestone, but remember the settlers from hundreds of years ago just took the rock from the desert that's kind of white and chalky, and they chopped that up really, really tiny, and they mixed those rocks with water. So we're going to we're making a little batch because we're just doing this for a science experiment. So we're going to take a half a cup of the cement and put it in our bowl. And then the recipe for cement is 2 parts of the cement, okay, or the limestone, and 1 part of the water. So remember, for our water, we're going to use the juice from the prickly pear cactus. So if I put a half a cup of our powder in there, Do you guys know fractions yet? I know, you might not. But half of a half is called 1/4. Yeah, like 1/4, like the coin. So we're gonna put just a teeny bit, 1/4 cup of the prickly pear juice in here. It's so pretty, it's pink because, you know, Chemistry Colleen, we're kind of pink. So that's about 1/4 cup. It might be a little bit more, but that's okay. All right. So I'm going to pour that in here. And then you have to mix it up pretty quickly. That's all it is, friends. It's a super easy science experiment. So I'm going to mix that up. And then I'm going to pour that on my tray and let it harden. So it's going to take a while for this to harden, but I wanted to pour it on a flat surface to kind of be like sidewalk a little bit. Okay, so we have cement that's usually on a flat surface. So if I put this around like that, it's a very thin layer of cement on our tray. And that's going to harden for a little bit. And when we come back, we'll look at our trays. And this one I'm going to mix with regular water. And I'll do that later. Okay, so it'll be the same on both except for prickly pear cactus juice here and regular water here. And I can't wait to show you what happens. Okay, friends, these are going to take, about a day to dry, harden, and cure. Cure is when it gets kind of finished up. So, while I am waiting for mine to finish, I want you to get started on yours, and then I would love to hear from you how your experiment turned out. Please remember to comment, subscribe, follow me, all of that. I want to hear from you every day about science and what you're seeing, and give me more good ideas for more Chemistry Colleen content. Hi friends, just a friendly reminder about being in the desert. The desert is a beautiful place. It's my home and I love it, but we want to take really good care of the desert. So when you come out in the desert, make sure that you have a hat, some sunscreen. If possible, you want to have some long sleeves on, long pants, closed-toed shoes, because there's all kinds of little critters and things going on in the desert that you want to protect yourself against. And it's super important, friends, that we leave the desert as we found it. So while we brought our Chemistry Colleen experiment out here, we're going to clean up every single little bit of it. And finally, never go out to the desert by yourself. You always want an adult with you. The desert is a beautiful, fun place to be, but again, there's all kinds of stuff going on here that it's kind of like the ocean. You never want to swim alone, right? The desert's kind of like an ocean of cactus and critters and things like that, and you just want to be with an adult at all times when you're in the desert. So enjoy the place that I call home, the Sonoran Desert, and do not forget your water. See you periodically.